Hi, this is Mary with Genesis Kingdom. I want to start a quick prayer for you that I ask my Father and your Father Jehovah that this message receives in your heart and your soul, and you're able to learn and get wisdom and discernment from it. And any needs that you need, if it's energy, empower, for him to recharge you, for him to guide you, that I pray that he gives you that guidance. And if you're feeling low, it's to bring you up, and I just want to share with you this messages that I share with you. It's my journey that I had been through and my testimony of my trials and tribulations and what has got me through where I had to repeat seasons, because not knowing in the wisdom, and all I'm here is just a messenger from my Heavenly Father, Jehovah, that he loves you guys very much and he's not quitting on you. And he believes, through his messengers, through his sons and daughters that he has chosen, vessels, is to empower you, to recharge you and get you to come from the darkness into his glorious light. And this is for the whole world. It's just not for his children. Technically, we're all, we come from the seed, not, of him, that it started with our Father Jehovah, and he created Adam and Eve in the image of him. You always got to remember that. Not of the darkness. The darkness always wants to pull you back to what we're so accustomed to what we're so used to, and really the time got tainted and it changed. But there's never too late. He didn't give up on me and he's not giving up on you. And that's the beauty of this, So the topic that I picked today was actually chosen vessel. And I'm going to start off with the opening prayer. Bear with me because I have to move some notes around because I picked a couple Bible verses and, so I have to work kind of from my car. But, yeah, I'm opening this phone, that phone, but the chosen vessel. The opening prayer for the chosen vessel, it is actually Acts 9, 14 through 16. It says, and here he had authority over the chief priest to bind all that he called on thy name. But the Lord said unto him, go thy way, he said. He is a chosen vessel unto me to bear the name before the Gentiles and kings and the children of Israel. For I will show him how great things that he must suffer for my name's sake. And a lot of us have been prosecuted and, torn down, to really, but that he allowed it. It was only the remolding kind of like he's a potter and he's a potter and we're the clay, and he slowly is molding us and he sends different messengers to get us there, correction makes perfection. Do you know what I'm saying? Trials and tribulations makes us stronger and hold on to him. That when we don't see a way, that we pray. That's the whole point of it. That's the whole point, is to turn to him and not rely on your friend, not rely on anybody but him. So when we're like, oh my God, why is this happening, Father? That's what he wants. Like, guide me, come and talk to me. You need him. We need him. Without him, we don't have nobody else that's going to direct us the right way. We have everybody else that's going to try to pull us a different way, or kind of almost to have us, almost like question it, like, what is it, and sometimes, we get directed the wrong way, and I'm not saying I know everything, because I don't. I'm still learning, and I still study, but I know that my gifts are very strong right now. I mean, and the wisdom, it's just like, boom. And the wisdom is God. And that's what it says. And I get it now. That's what's like, I know. Well, I know him. I knew him. I knew him. I knew he was real. There ain't nothing that nobody could tell me. Was there darkness? Absolutely. I knew that too, because I had trials and tribulations before I went through it. Do you know what I'm saying? So it was like he prepared me for this battle. The enemy even knew I was a chosen vessel before I knew that I was, and I had to learn the Bible to know what it meant to be chosen. I didn't have to pick up the Bible to know my Father because I knew how he was real. I had to learn the Bible because those are our family. Those are our ancestors. That's history in the Bible, real history that's been going on. It's been a cycle. World War I, II. Why do you think we're getting Armageddon? Because we're at the end times. They're fighting. They're fighting for territory. But we have the Most High God that is on our side. That the people, if you see on TV, that the ones that are going to be kings, queens, high priests, presidents, no president, that's the government. That's the people that don't like us. And that's the truth. Please, this is the people that don't care. They're about them, and that's the truth, but he does, our Father Jehovah. And that's the reason why we're here. The same way if you read the Bible and it repeats how he sent them and nobody was listening to the messages, because they want you not to listen. They want you to get mad. They want you to get angry. I was like that. When they first tried to correct me, I was like, they don't know me. They don't know me. And that was the hard hit. That was the pride. And really it was the pride, but it was the pride, but really it was the shame. The shame of what I had done. That was the condemnation that I was living in. Do you know what I'm saying? So that hurt. That hurt. The truth hurts. We might have not seen it, and I might have not seen it then, but that was the truth. It's kind of, they called you out and you're kind of like, hey, that's not me. Oh, it was you. You know what I'm saying? It was me. It was the condemnation that I was living under. And I had to learn and I had to grow in a relationship with him. And I said, I want to know you more. I want to know my ancestors. I want to know what we have been through. And we've been through hell. They gave me hell before I walked through hell. So God prepared me for that. He put me on with this whole armor of God, and he's still molding me. He's still growing in me, but I keep getting stronger because all I'm holding on to is him. That's all I ever had. That's all you ever had. That's all your family ever has. That's all these world leaders ever have. In every religion, he's not making it about religion. He's making it about him, that there is no other but our Father Jehovah. There is no other idols but him, our Father Jehovah. He said, look at me. I'm the one that could get you through that. You read, and what I have shared with you, go back and study it. And it's beautiful and it's so powerful. It's like a powerful statement. It's like the man in the mirror. Remember I said that? Like, as a world leader, what are you going to do? The only one that could change it is you. You represent that nation as a king and a queen, a high priest in that nation, in that church. Be that church. Be that world changer. Be what you got chosen to be. That's what you got chosen to be. So then that's what I'm saying. The meaning of the vessels, when people look it up. And the reason why I'm saying this is, and I'm saying, it says the meaning of a vessel is different. The meaning that there's different definitions of a vessel. And I say that because people say, well, that means this, Yes, it does. But we're speaking Bible term, So I had to do the breakdown on that. I had to break it down because some people will say, well, that's not what she said. That's not what it means. There's different terms, but we're talking about a chosen vessel, a vessel inside, that he's our vessel. He's our core. He's our foundation, without him, we're nothing, So it says, but Bible verse term, it's a person whom God calls and uses a vessel, the metaphor of a leader, as a useful vessel in heavenly kingdom, heaven on earth. That's what you got chosen for. You know what I'm saying? We don't come from a corrupted vessel. And we were in sin, so he had to make us that kingdom vessels for his heavenly kingdom, heaven on earth. You know what I'm saying? So there's a difference. That's what it means, a vessel. A pure vessel, a loving vessel, a world leader vessel. That is what you are. You're kings and queens that belong in a palace to be that world changer in that kingdom or that nation that he's going to put you in. The world leaders that are there now, that are going with us in this movement. That's why he says, you're neither hot, or either you be hot or you be cold. You can't be lukewarm. You know what I'm saying? You can't be representing heaven, but still stepping into the things in the world. The things in the world is what's being left behind. So when you see somebody getting king or queen up there, that's what's being left behind. not you, because you're still going. You're still changing. You're still being transformed with the renewing of your mind, your heart, your soul, your vessel that was corrupted. That's what they mean. Every plant that my Heavenly Father has not planted should be rooted up. It's the roots that were in there. So he had to sit there and cut us. He had to prune us. He was going around saying, nope, you have this. Well, I'm cutting that off. And he had to mold me like that. And I feel so purified. I feel so good. I cannot explain. So I have to share that testimony with you. And you're there. You know what I'm saying? Because I prophesied. I don't see you're going to be there. You're already there because you're turning away from the things in the world. You know what I'm saying? That's what holds us back. You read the Bible over and over again. It tells you exactly what their plan is. Nobody has been able to outdo the opposition. All these things that they come at you on our way to the promised land, you read it, they haven't been able to finish because they got tired of the drama, so they settled. That's what they want you to do. That's what they want you to give up. That's what they wanted me to give up. But if I would have gave up, that would have made me a liar, that my Father is real, and I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that. I didn't care. I told them it was to the cross, that I will carry that cross at no matter what, because I wanted you to see how real he is, because he gave me my daughter back. That she was demon possessed. And the minute he woke me up and said, hey, in my dream, I was asleep. He said, get up. Here he comes. My daughter is living testimony. He gave her back to me. How can I sit there and let the demonic world take over and still have dominion over something that he's had for years? No, he's evicted. We're sending out eviction notice. He's done. He's done. The only thing they do is sit there and throw those trials and tribulations so you give up. And in this journey, as you continue reading the Bible, he's washing you and he's cleaning you into something beautiful vessel, clean vessel for his heavenly kingdom. The people in the world, it's the 10 Commandments, the same with us. And it's not hard. But you know what's hard is leaving what we're so accustomed to, the sinful world that we didn't know. All he's doing is opening his eyes. He opened my eyes. He's opening yours. He's opening the world. That he's saying, I love you. I haven't gave up on you. Don't worship any other idols because they want you. You read what they did with Daniel. You know, they said you can't. And God has showed Daniel favor. God has showed Daniel favor. You know, he corrected me. The Holy Spirit corrected me earlier because I was talking about how Daniel, that queen already had, that king had already said, you know, they knew that Daniel was praying to our Father and his 3 brothers, Shadrach and Abednego. I don't remember the other one. Okay. And, you know, they were worshiping our Father. And the haters went to the king and said, hey, you know, can you make it a decree that nobody could worship any other idols besides you? So the king's all like, yeah, you know, so he signed it. Even though Daniel was there, he couldn't. Do you know what I'm saying? He couldn't let Daniel, Daniel had favored on him. Even though that when they called him and said, hey, we heard him and he's over there praying to other God, you know, like go say something to him. So, of course, as a king that just signed that decree, even though he had him there and he knew that, he said, okay, you know what? I have to call him up on it. You know, I wrote that decree. It's going to make me look like a liar, right? So he called him and he said, hey, you can't be worshiping other idols. So, you know, the story, and he tells him, well, I'm sorry. He said, let's see if your God is going to deliver you. Remember, it's a mental thing. So what did Daniel say? Even if he does, or even if he doesn't deliver me, he says, I will not bow to you. So he put him in that fire. And in the fire, he said, how many is in there? He said 3. He said, there's 4. He said, didn't we put 3 in there? And he said, yeah. He goes, I see 4. So when they came out from the fire, they weren't touched. Nothing was wrong with them. So he said, he put a decree. Nobody's going to pray for nobody but Daniel's God, our Father Jehovah. And he made himself a God. That's what a lot of kings lost concept of. They became more about me. I'm the world leader. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. But we still have our Heavenly Father, Jehovah, that we answer to, because he wants nothing for good for you. And this world has been run by governments that wanted just them, you know, them keep you down, and they're up, up, up. And the world's the same. The same. It's like a cycle, repetitive cycle, a sin cycle, a sin cycle. And he's reversing that. And he's cleaning that out. Do you know what I'm saying? It's that that's what he's doing. And that's what he wants you to see. That's what he's having me see. And as I continue reading the Bible, look what amazing work he's doing in me. And he's doing it in you because you're seeking the things of the kingdom of heaven, not of the things of the world. The world would keep you stuck in the same cycle. But he's saying, come this way. You know, I'll wash you and I'll cleanse you by the word of the Bible. It will transform you. Come on. He knows our personality. He knows how we are. We're going to be silly. You know, probably some of you's cuss, but we can't cuss. You know, I don't, because he changed me. I used to have a potty mouth, but you know, he's chosen me and has clothed me with high priest. So I have to be a beautiful example. Everybody knows I laugh. Everybody knows I'm not bougie, you know, and I can be, you know, but I'm not. I'm bougie in the way that I'm not where I used to be. You know, he has transformed me. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what do you call bougie? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, almost like people say, hey, well, you're up here. Yes, I am. I'm a chosen vessel. I'm dressed already and I'm wearing my crown. I'm already destined for greatness. It's already here and it's here for you too. But it's the renewing and the changing of your mind. And it starts with the Bible and who you are, a clean vessel for the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it's saying. And it says, what qualifies you? What does that mean? What does that mean? What does it mean that what qualifies you? It says a quality or accomplishment that makes someone suitable for a particular, like, you know, for a particular position. What is it? You know, royalty, king leaders, queen leaders. Do you know what I'm saying? Kingdom changers, world changers. That's beautiful. It's the action or a fact of being eligible, fit for the kingdom of heaven and earth, experiences trials and tribulations. So if we're not able to outlast the opposition that's coming to stop us to be everything that we created to be, how you see they did that for all the kings, you read it over and over again. Nobody has been able. He said, nobody has been able to deliver you out of my hands. They ain't no gods, the Lords, because we're considered lords, you know, we're underneath our Father Jehovah. He said, nobody has been able to deliver you out because we get weak and we get conformed to things in the world. So nobody has been able to finish the course. Nobody has been able to get anybody into the promised land because the opposition outdid me. You know what I'm saying? That all the trials and tribulations they did, they conquered because we ended up getting comfortable and stopped. Do you know what I'm saying? That's exactly what it means. So it means to be a chosen vessel. You have to be everything. You have to be that world leader. You have to be that kingdom leader. You have to be that world changer. You don't let the world make you. You make yourself inside this kingdom of heaven. And that is the Bible. That is who's transforming you. That's who you're going to represent. Heaven, not a world like in the world, but a world leader for his kingdom. Heaven, a kingdom of heaven. You know what I'm saying? We have to become that example. We have to outlast because we know who is with us. And that is our Father Jehovah. The world ain't for us. The world wants you to fail. I don't want you to fail. I want you to be everything heavenly he created you to be. We're gonna get everybody into the promised land, into the land flowing with milk and honey. I'm giving hell, because I'm not giving up, because I know who my Father is. I know who is with me. It's not me that is giving me the victory. It's my heavenly Father Jehovah, and he gives me the wisdom and the discernment. And I'm still learning the words to tell you for you to learn and let it captivate you. Let it be something that is powerful impact in your heart and soul and be like, who am I? She is right. I'm a chosen vessel. How am I going to settle for things in the world when I belong in the kingdom of heaven, a world leader, a world changer, a man in the mirror? You look, a woman in the mirror. Who are you? And that's exactly what it's saying. You outdo them because you know who your Father is. You don't settle out here because out here ain't going to be here no more. But the land flowing with milk and honey is the land of the living. Let's go. That's what it's saying. And I'm telling you how to get there. I'm telling you how to get there. And this is for you to change from the things of the world that what we're used to, our sinful nature, our sinful things, the dry bones. And that's exactly what it means. And it says not of the how the world qualifies you, the people, but our Father Jehovah qualifies you, qualified me, you know? And then it goes into like almost like, you know, when a baby, you know, you first start crawling and then you sit there, you know, you have to, you know, learn how to crawl before you teach yourself to walk. You crawl as a baby, as a little prince, a little princess, and then you become a world leader, a queen, a king for his kingdom. You chosen vessels, and you're going to lead the people into the promised land, not away into the things of the world, but into the promised land. That's what it means by the suckling babes, you know. And at first, you know, like he speaks to me, it's on fire. It's on fire. And sometimes I'll be like, Father, where's it at? And boom. So I Google it. Hey, you know, what about this? And then it brings me there. So study the Bible, you know. You study the Bible. It's like starting school. You know what I'm saying? When people are going to school, you know, some people say, you know, what I mean about how the world qualifies. You know how people say, well, you know, you didn't, you know, it's a Bible degree. It's studying in the Bible to be everything you created to be. That's what he means. We're not going, you know, with families that are studying, you know, don't get me wrong, you know, to be doctors or teachers and that. This is it. The Bible is what he's teaching me for my priesthood, for my royalty, for my queendomship. You know, that's what I'm studying for. You know, that is why I'm so deep in it, because how am I going to sit there and direct you and bring you out into the land of milk and honey if I'm being conformed with the things of the world? That's settling. You know, I don't want you to settle. I want you to see how big you are, how this world is. Even a world, we're example. You know, no matter what religion is, we're example for our children. We pass that on to our children. If my mama that raised me hadn't, you know, taught me Jesus since I was little, Father, they would always say Diosito because it's in Spanish, you know, I probably would have been like an unbelief, almost like the world. It's almost like he was forgotten, you know. The government was pulling him out. 10 Commandments, you know, he can be on money, he can be in schools. You know, they were doing that right in front, in plain sight. You were seeing things in the world right now that he's bringing it to you because he's exposing the enemy. You know what I'm saying? They're talking and they're getting angry because you're bringing it out of them. Do you know what I'm saying? You know, the only fear that I had in there is that not knowing. The not knowing the Bible, not knowing what I'm supposed to do, everything. But the Bible is the way. And then I was trying to figure it out, do it on my own. And he said, shh. You know, sometimes his silence is because he's doing something. And in that meantime, doesn't mean we give up. That means we continue reading. You know, everywhere that he has moved us is if we stay in the Word. If you sit there saying the things of the world, you're going to be left behind. So when you see all these kings and queens and everything that is getting crowned, that is for the world in the darkness. You're not going to be there. I'm telling you, this is the rapture as we're going. You know, people are going with us and into the promised land. The only people that stay behind are the ones that don't repent from sin. And this is it. It's kind of like the one that's crying in the wilderness, you know, what our brothers and sisters, the 12 disciples that have gone, what our King Jesus went through. You know, so you stay, you know, and you grow. You know, it's almost like a graduation, but a graduation that our Father was the one that chose us. You know, he had anointed you. You know what I'm saying? It says, before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee before you came as forth out of the womb. I sanctified thee and I ordained thee to be a prophet unto the nations. Not the world, but Father chose you. You were already chosen. That's what I mean. Yeah, there's doctor's degrees that the way that people see it, but this is a heavenly gift. You were chosen. That's what it means. So we have to study. Yes. And don't be ashamed if you get up there and say, hey, you know what, you're studying. Oh, I don't know what this word means. You know what I would do? I would go to YouTube and enter that word and I would have it repeated. Surexi was the one. I think I was so proud when I learned that. Surexi, you know, because I didn't know at first, but that's okay. That's learning. Those are the training wheels before you get with the big dogs with the big bikes. You know what I'm saying? And that's training wheels. And then you get off those training wheels and then boom, you walk into your calling, into that chosen vessel that he put you to, a powerful impact. You're going to make that. We're all going to make that because we're turning our life. And you know what it means also in a family. You're being that world changer in that family, and that family's going to be like, oh no, they're going to say, you know what, devil, you cannot have my family. And that's the impact that it means. That's checkmate, baby. That's what it means that they didn't conquer that. That's another soul that we saved. This is not about, popularity, how many people you're rolling with. It's how many people's life you're changing by doing the testimony, by being that example when they come and cuss you out, put you down, they do whatever, then you sit there and you smile. You smile because you know what? You're making an impact on somebody. Sometimes it'll make you question, it did to me. It did to me, but that's the whole point of getting and staying and studying and not staying in the training wheels, but go from the bigger wheels, when they say, I don't need that. I have you, Father, in the name of Jesus. And that's trusting him in everything that comes against you. And that's how powerful and how beautiful it is. A world changer, a kingdom changer, a world leader changer. Do you know what I'm saying? Like there's somebody that's going to be authority. That's us up here. And then there's going to be the ones that are in world leader and priesthood and everything. But we're here. We're not higher than our Father is up here. We're here with those world leaders. We're here with the priesthood. We're here with the kings and queens of the nations. We're not above anybody. We're here to serve each other, help each other, work with each other. Not that we think, hey, we're too good now. We're already clothed. I'm already clothed. And I act the same. What did Jesus do? He greeted himself and he served. And that's what we're going to be doing. This is what I'm doing. I'm digging ditches. I'm serving. At first I was like, I don't know what I'm supposed to. But you let the Holy Spirit lead you. And the visions are powerful. Visions are real. There's dreams, there's vision dreams, and there's real live vision dreams. And then there's times that I close my eyes and he shows me the Bible and Bible verses and what to tell you, or for me to learn, or for me to pick up, and it's powerful and it's beautiful. It's just not certain thing. Everybody has a different gift. Everybody does, Our prayers is a gift. The most powerful gift that you could ever have and you could ever use, the most powerful tool that you have. And it's beautiful. Prayer. You hear Asa, that he prayed and he said, God, I'm a child. I'm your child. I'm your daughter. I'm your son. I have an enemy coming against me. You pray and he does it. It says they're coming against me. Father, help me. He removes them. That's why I said, us to attack, us to get ignorant, us to sit there in that prideful vanity is vanity. And he doesn't like vanity. He doesn't like it. And that's why he had to crush me, because I had a very strong personality. At first, I still do, but a humble one that I could take somebody correcting me, because correction makes perfection. I don't know everything, but I know him. And I'm learning. And that's why I listen to everybody different. And then if I see somebody saying that they need prayer, my prayer is powerful. And so is yours. So I use that tool for the heavenly stuff. Is to change you, to help you, to mold you the way he molded me. And he's still doing it. I still don't know everything. It's not about who is best and who isn't. We're all loved by him. He doesn't have favorite. But every time they say that, I say, I accept that revelation by faith. Do you know what I'm saying? So, just never take it personal. Ever take it personal. Like what people say or what people think of you. Imagine if I would have let that happen to me at the beginning. I would have let it crush me. And the adversary would have ended up undoing me. But I'm not doing it. Because I'm standing in my Father's promises and everything that he created me to be. I'm not getting comfortable. I'm not going, here and there. I might go to Taco Bell into Lakewood. Whoa. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, I'm not worried about the things in the world. Here and there, I was like, man, I'm not doing anything. I'm not changing anything. And it was like, he was changing me. So I could sit there and then pray to you and tell you, You know, so I felt at times I wasn't making a difference, but I was. I was just like, kind of like, amen, they're not listening, Father, they're not. And he said, they are. You know, just keep doing it. Keep showing up. Keep showing up. And the fact that they still see me going, they're saying, man, that little shit's still going. So my Father continues giving me the victory. He's